This man looks like an ordinary office worker on the outside, but his identity is actually a cold-blooded killer. The place where the man works is disguised under the guise of an ordinary company. He has been working as an assassin for more than 15 years and has never failed a mission. His outstanding achievements make his colleagues jealous and his superiors afraid that the man will betray them. They decided to kill him to silence him, but they did not expect that this decision would make them regret it for the rest of their lives. So who is that man? What will he do to protect his life? Let's watch the movie to find the answer. A delivery man carrying a box of kimchi entered a building guarded by the police. He is Jo-hoon, an assassin on duty. In the elevator, Jo-hoon was criticized by two policemen because the smell of kimchi was too strong. They even beat Jo-hoon for no reason without knowing that they had provoked the wrong person. This group of police were escorting an important witness to ensure safety. They also arranged for many police to strictly guard. At that moment, Jo-hoon appeared. He was stopped to check information. Unexpectedly, Jo-hoon was wearing headphones and remained silent without answering. Policemen discovered that Jo-hoon's package was very suspicious. Hyung-do was also a senior who participated in the mission with Jo-hoon. A few minutes before, they had talked about their dreams when they were young. Jo-hoon said he wanted to make a lot of money to retire at the age of 40. At that time, Jo-hoon would definitely use money to be able to be with hot long-legged girls. Hyung-do said that he once dreamed of becoming a singer, but that was in the past. Seeing that, Jo-hoon also encouraged Hyung-do that being a singer is a thankless job. Once your time is up, there will be nothing left. The most important thing is to have a lot of money, and being an assassin is the fastest way to make money. But now Jo-hoon has to die at the hands of the senior he respected. Hyung-do left before the police arrived. Then he drove to a deserted place. There his accomplices were waiting to handle the car and erase the traces. Then Hyung-do changed into a suit and blended into the crowded traffic on the street. Hyung-do entered the company, where everyone looked like normal office workers. But behind this secret door was a completely different world. In the middle of the dark room, there was a woman leisurely knitting. Hyung-do gave her the gun to check and sign the minutes. At this time, Section Chief Jong-tae came and argued because Hyung-do came back later than planned. Jong-tae always showed an unpleasant attitude because Hyung-do was more respected by Chairman John than him. Hyung-do was a man of few words, so Hyung-do just apologized to get it over with. The next day, Hyung-do went to find an old man. He used to be Hyung-do's section chief in the organization. Although he had retired, he was still the person Hyung-do trusted the most. Hyung-do told him about Jo-hoon. Before Jo-hoon died, he asked Hyung-do to send his savings to his family. The former section chief advised Hyung-do not to get involved with the dead because an assassin must be absolutely decisive after the mission. This job is extremely cruel. Those inside want to leave, but once they leave, they are uncertain about what to do. Blood has stained their hands. They cannot dare to dream of a good life. In the end, most of them returned to their old jobs. The former department head hired Hyung-do because he didn't ask questions. When asked why he left the job, the former department head told about a mission that haunted him. At that time, when the target was about to be completed, that person begged him to live. The former department head showed mercy, but in the end, the former department head was still killed because it was his job. On the other side, the police investigated the previous assassination through surveillance cameras. Inspector Joe wondered because he couldn't find Jo-hoon's fingerprints in the criminal record. He suspected that Jo-hoon had immigrated illegally or had a complicated background. On this side, Hyung-do was going to Jo-hoon's house according to his last wish, but when he got there, Hyung-do saw a group of naughty young men coming out of Jo-hoon's house. Hyung-do asked a girl in the group if she knew Jo-hoon's younger sister, but before she could reply, her boyfriend jumped in to insult Hyung-do. These brats had no idea that they had teased the wrong person. Seeing how formidable Hyungdo was, the obedient daughter called her mother to meet Hyungdo. Hyungdo said that he was Jo-hoon's colleague because Jo-hoon had to go abroad for work. He asked Hyungdo to give the family savings. Hearing that, Mi-yeon enthusiastically invited Hyungdo into the house. She asked because her son hadn't come home for a long time. Bo-sil was in puberty, so she was very rebellious. She said that Jo-hoon must be very hardworking because even when his father died, Jo-hoon didn't bother to come home. Bo-sil was too fed up with this house, so she wanted to ask her mom for permission to stay over at her friend's place for the night. But Mi-yeon didn't agree, and because of that, Mi-yeon and her daughter argued. Out of frustration, Bo-sil asks Hyungdo if he wants to listen to her mother's music. After saying that, the girl ran in and played an old tape from when Mi-yeon was still a famous singer. Hearing that voice, Hyungdo remembered his childhood delivering noodles. At that time, he once happened to hear Mi-yeon singing in a recording studio. Mi-yeon was the idol in the past who made Hyungdo once dream of becoming a singer. Accidentally meeting his idol again caused some turmoil in Hyungdo's heart. Ironically, Hyungdo was the one who killed the idol's son. The next morning, Chairman John summoned Hyungdo. Chairman John questioned Hyungdo about hiring Jo-hoon without permission. Moreover, Jo-hoon was just a cleaning staff. The company only accepted people who had been soldiers or had good social skills. But Hyungdo hired people recklessly. Even so, Chairman John still highly appreciated Hyungdo. Chairman John believed that whatever Hyungdo did, there was always a reason. After that, Chairman John gave Hyungdo a file. The target to be killed this time was Jin. He used to be Hyungdo's team leader. Jin was wanted because he arbitrarily killed someone and then fled from the organization. Jin had a 7-year-old son. The boy was the pride that Jin always showed off everywhere. But Jin's son had just died in a serious traffic accident. The driver who caused the accident was killed by Jin to avenge his son. Now Jin was on the run. The company had to eliminate Jin before he was caught by the police. Otherwise, all information about the organization would be threatened. Hyungdo immediately accepted the mission assigned by his superior. Then Hyungdo quickly found Jin's location and started following Jin. On the way, Hyungdo was accidentally attracted by a poster of young Mi-yeon, and just because of that moment of distraction, he lost Jin. Hyungdo hurriedly chased after, but Jin had already realized he was being followed. Jin knew Hyungdo had been ordered to deal with him, but now for Jin, everything no longer had meaning. Jin did this dangerous assassin job only to earn money for his son, but now Jin's son is no longer alive. After saying that Jin knocked Hyungdo unconscious and left, when he returned to the company, Jongtae mocked him because Hyungdo had made a serious mistake. As always, Hyungdo only said sorry and kept silent. At his desk, Hyungdo received a mysterious phone call. Then he immediately left. Hyungdo went to the market and then entered an oriental medicine shop where Jo-hoon was being treated. It turned out that Hyungdo did not kill Jo-hoon, but he had hidden Jo-hoon so that the organization would not discover. That day, the assassination mission targeted the financial director of a large corporation. Hyungdo commanded together with 2 other assassins. They staged a setup blocking the upper parking lots. The target was forced to go down to the basement. The cameras had also been carefully dealt with. There Hyungdo appeared. After finishing the mission, Hyungdo told his teammates to leave first, while he brought Jo-hoon, who had recovered, back home. Hyungdo had dinner with Jo-hoon's family, then he went to buy beer with Mi-yeon. It could be seen that Hyungdo had really liked her already. At this moment, Mi-yeon said she got pregnant with Jo-hoon when she was only 18. Therefore, Mi-yeon's singing career was ruined. Until now, Mi-yeon was not sure whether she was a good mother or not, but Hyungdo comforted that having a mother was already the most wonderful thing. Suddenly, Hyungdo received a notification. Jin's hiding place had been found, and Jin needed to be dealt with immediately. Hyung-do asked why Jin did not run away. Jin replied that he had lost everything. He just wanted to live the last moments in the house where he had once lived with his son. Even though he was reluctant, in the end, Hyung-do still pulled the trigger and ended Jin's life. A few days later, the company organized a mountain climbing trip to celebrate Hyung-do's promotion to team leader. Chairman John personally handed him the new nameplate. From the outside, no one could recognize that this was an assassin company. After that, Hyung-do texted Miyeon to ask her out. As soon as Miyeon replied, he immediately felt extremely excited. A cold-blooded assassin like Hyung-do suddenly flustered like a teenage boy. Before the date, he kept changing from one suit to another. After that, Hyung-do kept walking back and forth. Only when he met a neighbor in the same apartment building did he hurry straight away. Then he and Miyeon went to a cafe owned by Miyeon's friend. The cafe owner was preparing to settle abroad. She wanted to transfer the shop, but Miyeon shook her head because she did not have enough money. The owner glanced at Hyung-do. She praised that he looked elegant and then asked about his job. Miyeon replied that Hyung-do was just an ordinary office worker. After that, Hyung-do and Miyeon sat and talked. He confessed that he had idolized Miyeon since her youth. Because there were many topics to talk about, the date became truly joyful and warm. Meanwhile, the police inspector was still tracing the whereabouts of Jo-hoon. He asked everywhere, but no one recognized Jo-hoon. Right at this moment, Hyung-do and Miyeon returned. The inspector suddenly remembered that Hyung-do had once appeared at the scene, so he used the excuse of smelling alcohol to ask to check Hyung-do's papers. Seeing that, Hyung-do also handed over the papers to avoid trouble. After that, the inspector asked Hyung-do again about his job. Miyeon gave the inspector Hyung-do's company business card. The inspector found no problem and returned the documents to Hyung-do, but it was clear that the inspector had begun to suspect Hyung-do. Meanwhile, the organization discovered that Jin had not been dealt with by Hyung-do. They arrested Jin and summoned Hyung-do to finish the job. Because of pressure from Chairman John, Hyung-do could not refuse the mission. Jin cursed the people in suits here as if they were blood-stained butchers. Hyung-do angrily rushed up and strangled him. At that time, the police inspector led his teammates to Hyung-do's office and requested an inspection. This was just a normal office, but it attracted Chairman John's attention. He immediately asked Jong-tae to monitor Hyung-do's behavior immediately. When Jong-tae asked why Hyung-do gave the company's business card to the police, Hyung-do just kept silent. He remembered that Mi-yeon was the one who gave the business card. Because he did not want her to be involved in this case, Hyung-do still did not say anything. This made Jong-tae even more annoyed, and he rushed to hit Hyung-do. That afternoon, while on duty, Hyung-do thought a lot. In the end, he skipped work and drove to the coffee shop to meet Mi-yeon. There, Mi-yeon gave Hyung-do a briefcase. This briefcase was made by her own hands, which made him very happy. After that, Hyung-do said that he would buy back the coffee shop from Mi-yeon's friend, and the two sides signed the transfer papers quickly. When Mi-yeon started playing, Hyung-do looked at her passionately without blinking. Hyung-do did not realize that his heart was now devoted to this woman. But the organization discovered that Hyung-do had not dealt with Jo-hoon yet, and Hyung-do made another mistake. 2 consecutive mistakes made it impossible for Hyung-do to avoid responsibility this time. Hyung-do prepared a resignation letter and quickly stuffed it in his shirt pocket before returning to the company. When Hyung-do got in the car with his teammates, he realized something was wrong. The female colleague sitting next to him carried a gun, which made Hyung-do realize that the company wanted to kill him. Hyung-do asked them if they were confident that they could handle him. Hyung-do immediately called Jo-hoon to inform him that everything had been exposed. Hyung-do told Jo-hoon to quickly take his mother and sister and escape. Hyung-do then went to his old department head for help. His old department head was not satisfied with Hyung-do's actions, but in the end, he still agreed to help Hyung-do. Hyung-do said he had hidden some money in Seoul in case he ran away. At this time, Mi-yeon went to Hyung-do to talk. She wanted to know what Jo-hoon was really doing. Hyung-do had to tell Mi-yeon everything. This truth was hard for Mi-yeon Mi-yeon to accept. Mi-yeon did not expect that both her son and the person she loved were doing such dangerous work. The next day, Hyung-do went to Seoul alone to get the money he had hidden. He called Chairman Joan. Then Hyung-do said that he did not betray the organization. But of course, Chairman Joan did not let Hyung-do off easily. At the place where Hyung-do hid the money, the company arranged many assassins to ambush him. But thanks to his intelligence and agility, Hyung-do successfully got the money. Then Hyung-do returned to his old department head's house. Unexpectedly, the assassin was already lying in wait here. It turned out that the chief had betrayed Hyung-do. He wanted to return to work in the assassin organization. To achieve that, he sold out Hyung-do. Hyung-do did not blame the old chief. Hyung-do only had one wish, which was to use his money to exchange for the lives of Mi-yeon and Jo-hoon. But the old chief coldly refused Hyung-do's plea. He even wanted to kill them all. Hyung-do shed tears of resentment. The entire company was finally destroyed by Hyung-do. Corpses were scattered everywhere. Hyung-do continued down to the base below. The first barrier was the scheming storekeeper.
그만둔다고!
The chairman still praised Hyung-do as a great hope, and he was also the best killer in the company. Hyung-do found it ridiculous. Now, Hyung-do no longer believed his hypocritical words. Just as the chairman was about to shoot Hyung-do, Jo-hoon appeared and shot the chairman dead. The police received news of the shooting and immediately surrounded the entire building. Hyung-do told Jo-hoon to escape through the emergency exit while he stayed to handle everything. Hyung-do was about to rush up to attack, but he was shot again by Jong-tae. Jong-tae went crazy and questioned why Hyung-do never answered his questions. Hyung-do immediately called Jong-tae a stupid pig.
Yes! 아이 새끼야! 이 개새끼야!
At this time, Hyung-do turned to tell Jo-hoon to live and take good care of his sister and stay away from this murderous business. Then Hyung-do adjusted his clothes and walked out of the building. The police and the crowd had already surrounded the building. Jo-hoon also mixed in with the crowd and left. Hyung-do had fulfilled his wish to leave this painful killer company. Even his resignation letter was still neatly on the chairman's desk. Hyung-do looked up at the sky. Then he remembered the day he applied for a job at the company. At that time, Hyung-do was still a young man hoping to make money to change his life. Unexpectedly, the dream of wealth led Hyung-do's life to a path of crime. By the time he regretted it, it was too late. The movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and see you again.